Coming up next on Access Framingham TV is Framingham Fan to Fan, where we discuss all things sports in Framingham. Today we're going to talk community involvement with guests from the Discovering Hidden Gems program. Stay tuned. This is going to be insightful and impactful. This is Framingham Fan to Fan on Access Framingham TV. Hi, I'm Dave Hornfischer, a Framingham sports fan myself, and I'm pleased to host this interview show whose purpose is to highlight those who are involved in Framingham sports at all levels. We hope through this show to increase awareness and ideally fan support of these fun sporting events, and also to help use sports to achieve our station's goal of building community. Today we have a rather special program, a program that's really focused on building community right in downtown Framingham. It's called Discovering Hidden Gems, and I'm going to be talking with two or three of its founders and people who are actively involved in it. Julissa Ortiz, Margie and Rosario, and Ron Taylor. Welcome to Framingham Fan to Fan.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
You guys, I love the title of your program, Discovering Hidden Gems. Can you just talk a little bit about that name and kind of lead into kind of what you're trying to do?
So Discovering Hidden Gems, we are a nonprofit targeting at-risk youth in the city of Framingham. And our mission is to help increase the quality of life by creating access through recreation and education and community involvement. And the name came about because we want to, every child deserves to shine. So we believe that creating access to all these activities, especially sports, will engage them and increase their quality of life.
Mm-hmm. Julissa, do you have any insight? Where the two of you were part of the original group that founded this?
Yes, Margie actually thought of the idea, and she just called me randomly one day, and I said, yes, let's do it. And we got right to work. That was late January. So
and this has been going on for how long now?
Since January.
Oh, just since this year?
Just since
I thought you had some things that you did last year.
So the tournament's been around for 2 years.
Okay, and this is Mr. Tournament over here. We didn't. Let's give Ron a chance to talk a little bit about your involvement with this and what got you fired up about it.
I've been running a basketball tournament called Unity and Pride. Basically, I wanted to target kids in the downtown Framingham area that's mostly at risk. I'm from Framingham, and they used to have basketball leagues and gyms, and due to the budget and it's not open for the kids, there's nothing out for the kids to
be busy in the summertime.
Yeah,
and
I try to give them my output, whereas rather than just running the streets or doing something productive, basically.
Well, that's terrific. Sports are a great outlet for both getting energy out there, meeting people, and I assume that's kind of at the core of a lot of what you're doing.
Yes, so we believe, we are from this community, and we use our outlook and our, what we've been through and create programs around that to positively engage the youth in their community.
Mm-hmm.
So basketball and the tournament is somewhat of a culture and a staple in the city of Framingham at the Mary Dennison Park. So we want to continue to have that, make it bigger, make it better, get more people involved, get the community involved, and get more kids in the program.
So in addition to building on the basketball tournament, which has gone on for a few years, has it already?
This will be the third year.
The third year for the basketball tournament. You started several other new kind of fun programs. I think we have a couple photos of a couple of them that hopefully may come up on our big screen here. One of them was called Lounge Fridays.
Yes, Lounge Fridays is a space that we got together and for preteens and teens. And they come and have a great time. We have different activities. We had game night, spoken word, fitness classes, and it rotates every Friday, 5 to 6:30 at SMOC. And basically each week we try to focus on very specific skills and goals for the kids to learn in a fun way and interactive way. So for example, spoken word was really targeted towards self-expression and a positive self-image, and it was great. We had a great time. The girls really got engaged, they got right to it, and they were able to share their piece, which we weren't expecting. It was the first time that we ran it. So it was amazing. They did a great job.
So what kind of a thing was spoken word? There's a lot of dimensions to that. That sounds interesting. Was this storytelling, or is it?
We left it really open.
Okay,
So we had somebody come in that has experience doing it. He was awesome. He came in and kind of presented one of his pieces, and then we gave the students some time for them to work on their own personal pieces, and they kind of just ran off with it. And they all had different subjects. They all have very super emotional and personal subjects, and they were able to share them, and that was amazing for them. It was powerful for everybody in the room.
Yes.
That's great. And then you have another program that's a little more athletic called Ride Into Summer. And I think we have an image about that we can show as well.
So Ride Into Summer is a bike ride event. We call it Cycle for Our Youth, and that's going to be at Farm Pond on June 23rd. And the purpose for the event is to engage the community in a positive way and provide recreation as well as a fundraising effort for Discovering Hidden Gems. It's a 3.4-mile bike ride around the heart of Framingham. So it goes on Dudley Road, Farm Pond, and goes to Franklin Street, back up to Concord, back up to Waverly, like one full circle. And that event, it's 12 and over to ride the main course, but we will have family-friendly activities, kid-friendly activities, and lots of stuff going on at Farm Pond between 9 and 1 on June 23rd.
So how does one sign up for that? Or do you just show up with your bike?
So you can
get
do
in line?
both. We are actually suggesting registrations. You can go on discoveringhiddengems.org. And
Say that again, nice and slow. Discovery, all one word, discoveryhiddengems.org.
Discovering, I-N-G.
Discovering Hidden Gems. Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah, look closer at the T-shirt, David. Yeah.
Discoveringhiddengems.org. So under events, you can click right on the poster and sign right up. We suggest registration so you can be guaranteed a T-shirt. So every rider would get a T-shirt to participate. So, and you can have same-day registrations as well. And we will be having relay races for the kids 12 and under on grounds. So
the bicycle race is just for 12 and over.
12 and over, yes.
And there's one class, and is there a big grand prize of a big trophy or something? Or
it's more for community involvement. So
I understand.
So we're doing it as a way to not only engage the community, but that whole area now has like the skate park, it has Cushing Park, all these things that are happening on that area, and how do we positively transition people to come in and participate?
Well, for a sports show, there's a lot of time I think people don't think of bicycle riding, skate riding, swimming, or whatever else is going to happen at the park and things like that. This is really the breadth of sports, and this is what really gets people started sometimes, I think.
So our goal with that is to have it every year in the summer, like right into summer every year.
And this year it's going to be again on June
23rd.
June 23rd, okay. And then you have a dance team program as well, I understand.
Yes, they're amazing. They chose their name, and it's Fearless, which
Fearless.
I believe it matches them very well.
Okay.
And they're mainly learning right now Latin-inspired dances. So it's called bachata, salsa, plena, very cultural, and then get to know where these different types of music came from. So they get an education, just not just the dancing. So that's very fun.
Oh, there they are.
We're working on our next performance now. It's going to be a Flag Day parade in Framingham.
Okay.
So they're very excited.
And that's June 10th, I think, isn't it?
Yes, it
and
is.
And so they're going to be a part of the parade and doing dances in the street. Do they have some music behind them too then?
Yes. Very
now,
fun.
Now, is there any connection between this and the youth football and cheer program, which is and they have a dance connection to that as well? We had them on this program once, and we had the cheerleader do a cheer when a boy described his touchdown. It was a lot of fun. And Framingham State and Framingham High actually have very involved dance teams. If I know going to the Framingham High football games, they have the Framingham dance team is terrific. So
They were doing really well this year.
yeah. So you have a connection with them, or is this?
So we actually, as more
You're
word
hoping
is,
to? Yeah.
well, as more word is going out and people are hearing more about it, we actually got reached out by one of the parents, and they said, do you need choreography for your dance team, hip hop choreography? So it's like we gotta, everybody's networking, everybody's reaching out. Once they hear what we're doing, they want to be involved.
Right.
It's very exciting.
And then of course the big event then is going to be August 19th. When you have the third annual, has it always been called the Unity and Pride Day?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Ron, why don't you talk a little bit about that? How many kids?
Last year we had over 75 kids.
That's just playing basketball.
Just playing basketball.
Yeah.
We probably had extra 30 kids. We did face painting, gave out raffles. We had a DJ booth with Jamie 94.5. We had little kids come up and showcase their talent.
That's amazing.
We had a few things, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's a lot. And so, if you had 70 or some kids, did they make their own teams, or did you kind of pull them together by age, or?
The purpose was to get the community involved. So majority of the kids was from the south side of Framingham, basically from Framingham. They was from Framingham, and we had them come in, and the coaches picked them one by one, so it could be even. So each team could be even. We did it by height and size and age, and so all the teams could be even. And then the winning team got $100 each.
Really?
Yeah. So we,
Wow.
I had a GoFundMe account. I think we raised up like $3,700.
Well, that's terrific. Wow. Oh my goodness. And but leading up to the tournament, and I've probably started already, is you're doing a lot of basketball clinics at the Mary Dennison Park.
So that's how we came into play. So we have reached out, we're linking up, we're now a DHG team, and then to further, involve the tournament, we're creating basketball clinics. And the basketball clinics are going to be run by an FSU student who actually graduated today, and Iraceli. Yeah, good job, Ira.
Yeah.
And Yemi from Pelham Park and Rec. So we're going to be having basketball clinics Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 6, starting the week after 4th of July, for 5 weeks leading up to the tournament.
So to get involved in one of these clinics, do I sign up on your webpage, or
Yes.
do I just show up on a?
So we're actually on social media and on our webpage. So the social media on Facebook specifically has the event and has the registration on the event, has the sign up, donation, sponsorship information for any way you want to be involved, and on the website as well.
And these are for ages
8 to 14.
8 to 14, and
Yeah, so the twist this year is that the ages 15 to 18, we are going to call them the assistant coaches, but it's more for peer-to-peer.
Okay.
So we want peer-to-peer involvement from the older kids to help the younger kids, and then you have coach, assistant coach, and Ron's our coach manager
For all the teams.
for all the teams and for all the kids, yep.
so you're still hoping to get more coaches from either high school or Framingham State, or
Yes.
other people who are back in Framingham and just want to help kids play basketball?
Anybody who wants to be involved and that they want to, volunteer and help. And so right now, I believe we're going to be having 8 teams.
Yes, 8 teams. It'll be 8 teams.
Of mixed ages or similar ages, or
Mixed
the,
ages.
Mixed ages.
okay,
Okay.
all right. So every team may have an 8-year-old and
Yeah.
a 14-year-old. Okay,
Yes.
and then you'll try to and you have referees, and
Yes.
and the basketball courts at the Dennison Park have all been cleaned up and fixed up and
We're hoping.
shined up and kept nice and neat, and
Well, that's why I went
Yeah.
down, to the meeting and asked them to clean it up, because we do use it. Mary Dennison Park, even though there's a lot of stigma around it, there's a lot of good happening there. And that's where we come in. We want to make sure that we bring this positive light to the areas where we're from and what we're doing, because just, it's there and stuff is happening there. So people need to see that. And then with more involvement, the stigma changes. So the more people come in, the more they see what's happening, the more they want to get involved. Now no longer is it a negative space.
so are you promoting some of this through the schools and putting flyers up in the schools so that
So at
people
this
might know about this? Or?
At this time, we're specifically going out through social media,
Okay.
and people like you, the paper, the daily news, Framingham Source.
Word of mouth.
Susan Petroni has been, helping us get the word out in terms of our organization and events in general. And so we're slowly but surely getting the word out.
So have you been able to track some of the businesses as sponsors in Framingham for this?
So we're open so they had 10 sponsors last year.
Yes.
So we are very optimistic, and we said we want 30.
Okay. So do you want to give a plug to any of the sponsors who were particularly helpful? Or?
There's different sponsorship packages this year. You can be a team sponsor, you can be an event sponsor, you can be a backpack sponsor. So
Backpack
the
drive.
kids that participate are given the t-shirt, they are provided food, and they go home with a backpack with school supplies.
Wow.
Basically, we just trying to get the community involved in it. just to give back at least for one day for the kids.
Oh, what a terrific program. But I mean, with the clinics and everything else you're doing, this is far more than just a one-day event.
So the goal
And,
with the clinic is for us to hopefully in the future have a basketball summer camp.
okay.
So that's kind
So
of
it's like
like the vision, but we need to start somewhere. The
Long-term
tournament is
long-term goal, exactly.
long-term goal. The tournament has been very successful. It has a great turnout. It's a positive time. Everybody enjoys it. The kids do a great job. The families come out and have a blast. So we want to grow on that. We want to expand it. We want to provide more opportunities through the likes of the kids. So it's just a win-win all around.
Yeah, this sounds like a great opportunity for even sports fans in Framingham to come down and watch some of these kids play basketball and cheer them on. And,
Yes.
and it's going to be all day on the in August on the 19th.
Yes.
Yes.
And if it rains,
There's no rain date.
no rain day, you play in the rain. Everybody
That's
plays with an
it.
umbrella, huh? Well, that just sounds like just such a terrific day and such a terrific connection. And it sounds like, and getting something like this started is always the hardest thing. And it sounds like, you've had some success with the first 2 years. Why don't you, Ron, can you just talk about a couple of the highlights from the first year or two? Or, I mean, the first year of doing something like this must have been.
Yeah, well, actually, when the first year, I was trying to recruit the kids. I was going around from park to park, gym to gym, and there was a particular kid. He said, I've been practicing, and I didn't really pay any attention. I'm like, yeah, keep shooting, and so when winning team won, he's like, I told you I won, and I'm like, oh, like this, and they caught me like front page, giving the kid the $100, and that was one of my proudest moments. Also, it's not only for basketball. We try to have parents that come out to have activities for the other little kids, like face painting and other activities, and a kid had won a raffle. It had a book bag. It was filled with school supplies, and he won. And he just started running to his mom, like, "Mom, look, you don't gotta go back to school shopping. I won." And she just started crying and she hugged me.
Oh.
And that alone, just that feeling alone, is like, wow. Like you don't feel it at the moment till you get home and
I'm getting teary-eyed.
it dawned on you.
Yeah,
Like, wow.
I mean, yeah.
We call it a new type of happiness. You don't get this happiness anywhere else.
Say that again. It was the what kind of happiness?
A new
new
type
type.
of
A
happiness.
new type of
It's a new
happiness.
type
Yeah.
of happiness.
Well, it sounds like just genuine happiness too. Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful.
Well, for us in particular, when
Yes.
it's just we call it the positive vibe tribe and the good energy train. And then once we start talking about all the good that's happening, people want to be involved. And
Keeps it
once you
going.
get this feeling like we've had it, that you don't want to stop. You want to do more and find ways to create more because it's just an amazing feeling to have.
These stories are just so terrific. One of the things I like to do when I have athletes on the show is to get them kind of into the moment, talking about what they're thinking about when things happen. And this is a little different, but but I bet you've got some stories that you can kind of take me into the Ron just did a great job there with the basketball story. The both of you must have a moment that you'd like to share too, that you can
So
think
we
of.
both used recreation get us through different adversities. So I did play sports in high school. I went to Keefe Tech. I played basketball and softball. So for me, basketball was actually a really positive impact in my life because at the time I didn't think that I would be able to do that type of sport due to like different challenges and self-doubt. So once I was involved and figured out that it was a great feeling for me, and it never stopped because that was the first time for me that I understood that if I put my mind to something, I can do it. So from that point on, I never said no to anything. I said I'm always going to try it once and then keep trying, and if it doesn't work, figure it out or keep it moving, So it never put oh no, I can't do that. That's not for me. So that was the first aha moment in my life.
Uh-huh.
Well, in particular with our Discovering Hidden Gems, we started with the dance team. And we were practicing in an open space. I mean, it was great. The girls showed up. We had our instructor. Everything was going awesome. And I started reaching out to studios. And we finally got a yes from Metro West Dance Academy, that we can use their space to bring the girls there and practice in an actual dance studio. So, we're excited. We're calling each other, oh my God, this is going to happen. It's amazing. we bring it up to the dance practice and we tell the girls, hey, we need a name. We're gonna, you know, at this tape, we're gonna start practicing in an actual dance studio. And their faces were like, you know, they were so excited. And we're like, yes, that's exactly what we want to see. You know, that excitement, and that brought us to the almost tears. And
I was crying.
That was it for us. And they started clapping themselves.
So what again was the name you told me before? Why don't you share it again with us? It was the
Fearless.
Fearless, yes. So be fearless.
Chose the name.
Fearless is that's just a, you know, the connection between fearless and sports is always, you know, you think of this athlete, he's got to shoot a foul shot with the game on the line, or he's a racer that's got, you know, coming down to the wire, and being fearless in sports and having a sense of that is so important. And then to the time to put that into your life when you have life challenges, and being fearless at a time when you don't think you can. Has that story bounced back to you from one of the participants in the program where somebody says, being fearless really helped me get through whatever it was?
So we actually see a lot of, you know, we're very focused, and we see like the smaller scale things where they possibly won't do a certain thing or a certain hairstyle or you know, because of different image issues, and then all of a sudden they're doing it and they're engaged. And so there's a lot of little things that happen that build that bigger impact, but we like steadily seeing every week after week, all of these little pieces coming together.
Yeah, and I mean, and even the participants, they are showing a lot of great skills already. Like even when one has self-doubt over whatever the issue might have been, the other one stepped up and encouraged her to get through it, and we can do it together, and everything's gonna be fine. So we've seen those like leadership skills already, and we've seen them working together to accomplish, you know, their goal, which was for them to perform and be successful. And when they did, it was the most another amazing moment. They all ran back to their little, you know, room, and it was like a party in there because they were so excited that they did it. And they didn't have a lot of time to prepare either, so they did an amazing job with the time that they had. So I was very proud of them, and you could see they were proud of themselves, and they were excited all together.
Were there some of those moments on the basketball court in the 2 tournaments that you've had so far where?
Absolutely. Well, you know, in basketball, as a little kid between 8 and 14, they're trying to find themselves.
Yeah, basketball is a tough game.
So
when you're
everybody thinks they LeBron James. So my goal.
Let's not use that word in Boston. Maybe they all think they're Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving. Yes.
I got Red Auerbach right in back of you there.
So I try to use that fear and change it as confidence. Because if they feel it's on the court, and they could bring that off the court and have self-confidence, I feel I did my job.
Yeah, that's so true about sports. It is that opportunity. Even when you fail, learning how to deal with that, and you know, I'm going to get up and make the next shot or whatever.
Confidence.
Well, that's the bigger goal in like everything that we're doing. Like we're focusing on all these fun activities and all these goals and skills, but you know, the bigger picture is that they'll be able to carry those skills in real life and everything they do in life, not just in that one particular space. And we want them to be really well-rounded people.
Right.
Yeah, and the recreational aspect of things, you know, the teamwork, the leadership skills, you know, all those things are being used, and the positive impact between each other, and how do they, you know, the communication between each other, and the social relationships between each other. So all that's being targeted. So it's just in a very fun way.
Yeah, and whether it's bicycling, dancing, or basketballing or whatever else, the pieces are all the same, and and these are all life skills that are going to make these kids probably better athletes for the Framingham high school teams in the future. So let's just talk about some of the people that are giving you a lot of support. This is a new effort. There's probably a lot of people in town that don't know about it. A lot of people who should know about it, including me. And so talk about some of the, I think you mentioned before, the support the rec department has given you, or the police department, or the town.
So, I mean,
the city, I should say.
The city.
Yes.
So we're grateful that Mayor Spicer has supported us, and you know, she came out to the event, to our celebration. She backs us up, and like she ideally loves what we're doing, and she is opening a way for the city of Framingham to now have a voice on District 9 per se, and for every district actually has a voice now. And so not only did we go from town to city, but now we're also available to have different access to things that the city has to offer. Along with that, I mean, we have, our District 9 Sitting Councilman supports us, and different people from the school committee, and that whole city leadership all support.
Well, I met you at the District 7,
Yeah.
8, 9 committee night when we all talked. And
so on that angle of things, the leadership of the city support us. I just recently had a conversation with the chief of police and invited them to participate at the tournament, and they said yes, that they will be there. They're going to have an information booth and be involved at the event, and in a positive community policing. I think that's amazing.
it's at the root of community policing, doing something like that, and being out and being seen as supportive and friendly and a positive resource in the community. And the facility itself, the Dennison Park, is the Public Works Department involved with you in helping get that fixed up and cleaned up for your clinics?
Yes.
And there are people who want to. I mean, I was saddened to see the graffiti at the new skate park, and I'm sure you run into some of that here too, and as to how you can combat that, and positive things, I think, generally combat it the best.
And it's also like, and how do we take this opportunity to create a positive impact behind it? So how do you take this negative, and how do you take what happened, and how do you turn it around? So how, is it a cry for help? Does more need to be done with our at-risk youth? How do we engage them? Where do we go find them? What do we create for them to come to? Like, how do we take this opportunity instead of just saying, oh, this was a criminal act, and how do we now engage it and say, more needs to be done. Let's try this and see if that works, So, and then in terms of Mary Dennison Park, there's a lot of talk about rebuilding the park. There's a whole new plan with it. Particularly for us, it's very important for them to continue to use the staple of the park and the culture behind it, because I believe for the last 30 years, basketball has been #1 at that park for that community.
Is there just one court there or more than one?
It's 2 courts.
There's 2 courts. Will you use both of them in the tournament?
Yes.
Yeah. So ideally, for like our vision of the park, I would like to see 4 courts, like 2 larger ones, 2 smaller ones. The adult ball, the smaller kid ball. Just so it's no competition to get the little ones in. You have to wait on the side, like they're sitting there going like, when can I get a turn?
Well, and in basketball, for an 8-year-old, it's hard to get the ball up to the 10-foot hoop.
Yeah. So for me, like, I did mention that to them. I said, I would like to see 4 courts. And he said, well, that's the first I've heard of that. But it's more like you need to assess the need of the community, what's happening there. Because, the little kids are literally sitting on the side waiting for them to. Yeah. So if you had like 4, target the bigger kids, get the smaller kids, and have something happening for all of them.
Well, unfortunately, and the time is just rapidly running out here. And so before we wrap up, why don't I just run down the 3 of you? Give me 4 or 5 words of a message that you want people in Framingham to hear.
Get involved.
Get involved.
You took mine.
Be fearless. Be fearless has got to be your phrase. I know. Ron?
Give back to the community.
Give back to the community. Well, those are 3 wonderful messages. It's been terrific having the 3 of you on. Margie, Julissa, Ron, thanks so much for all of what you're doing. The 3 of you are role models for what all of us in Framingham should be doing. And everybody else in Framingham should be getting involved, should be helping these folks with their great events coming up this summer. And come back again to watch Framingham Fan to Fan. We cover all kinds of sports in Framingham. And if you've got a creative idea, give us a buzz here at Access Framingham. We'd love to have you on the show too. Thanks so much for watching.